And welcome back. We have generated a new planet which is called Neristus Lumus. It's in a slightly eccentric and slightly fast orbit around a bright yellow G0 star with a tilt of 20 degrees and a radius of 5,159 kilometers, and that I believe makes the day quite short. It was, I think, 13 hours. It's like 2.5 billion years ago evolution started on the planet, so there are some native biological organisms, although I believe none of them are intelligent or have a civilization. It does. Currently the planet has advanced life forms, which probably, I think, means that at least one of the major regimes is going to be aliens, natives to this planet. Air pressure is slightly lower than Earth, and there are 3.58 million survivors of the dissolution war, divided into 6 major and 30 minor regimes. The atmosphere on the planet is quite agreeable. It has no hazard to human life. It's actually more oxygen, I believe, than we have on Earth. However, the rainfall is quite large, which means that solar panels might not be as effective, as they will be occluded by the many thick clouds. On the other side, it will be easier to get water, which is very much needed for a post-apocalypse civilization. Gravity is 0.7 G, and the temperature is 33 Celsius on average. There are poles that are around 0, I think, during winter and summer as well, I think. Planet age is 3 billion. There are some shrubs and bushes, no trees, so it won't be very hard to get through the terrain, probably. So now we get to customize and name our regime. Let's call it something very original, like maybe we are an alliance of different peoples, but the alliance is, not going entirely well. It's a little bit jagged around the edges. Then I guess we can have a president, maybe some green tones. What goes well with green? Let's say that's going to be our flag. The great cities were destroyed in the dissolution war. The remainders of humanity dispersed into the wastelands, hiding, scavenging, fighting, trying to scrape out a living, trying to survive. The forefathers of our nation were among them. They were not alone. Other survivors fleeing the destroyed cities have followed them. These others were aggressive and tried to enslave our forefathers. How did they manage to pacify their enemies? And now we get to pick what kind of regime our nation is going to be. Are we more government focused, enforcement, or commerce focused? I'm going to say that Jagged Alliance, as a alliance of mercenaries, would be either enforcement or commerce focus. I think maybe more commerce. So we have found a strong ally beyond our zone who helped us destroy them. We got onto our laptop. We paid a bunch of money to some mercenaries to help us. Upon stability returned, there were those who did better than others. Who were the people that grew richer and more powerful than the masses? Now we get to choose between the fist, the mind, and the heart, and we probably have to pick the fist, since the more experienced and skilled mercenaries probably would be the ones that rise to the top, the clever ones that controlled key resources. And finally, a series of ancient leaders led our people from the brink of starvation to a more prosperous small survivor community. What was the sacred goal of our leaders of yore? And we get to pick between meritocracy, autocracy, or democracy. I suppose we will choose meritocracy, since a bunch of soldiers would probably be more interested in their merits rather than anything else. Well, autocracy might work if we were like a regular army with a chain of command, but then Jagged Alliance more of a little bit more loose group, so we will go with the meritocracy. And then we can finally start our first turn. The previous president is now buried. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, long live the new president. It's now up to us to lead the nation to victory. We are the president of Jagged Alliance. Some subjects cheer our ascension, but not all. Probably those mercs that, don't get offered many jobs are not paid as well. We'll have to hail and address the nation as soon as possible. And this is the current epoch, time of relative calm, which is going to be around 24 rounds long, and the full effect will come in the middle in 12 turns. And thanks to the relative calm, we are getting additional political bonus points. And we have some stratagems, which are cards that we can play, and some additional ones. And we get to give our ascension speech. The buzz on the street is that we're going to address the nation, and we think that maybe establishing a private economy first will be a good idea to get some money in the coffers.
Roger that.
So we get additional profile points for the commerce, which I will explain a little bit, and we get to choose our first council, which we're going to pick the economic council.
Roger that.
And that's it for the decisions that we have to take in the first turn. We have some additional information, some advice, welcome to command, and there is danger in zone, which we can see in the city, I believe, but it's very, very low. It's only 4 points, which doesn't do much probably. So before I forget, this is our profile, and these are the 3 categories, main categories, each of which have 3 different types of profiles. We chose the meritocracy, the commerce, and the fist, and as we can see, they are kind of rock paper. It's a rock paper scissors situation, maybe analogous to that they each have some effect on each other, plus they are like auxiliary profiles, one of which is militia. So how supportive we are of our militia forces, which dictates, I believe, how strong and numerous our militia will be. And there's also average relationship with our cults. And I honestly do not know much about the cults other than that we might get some events related to them, and we may get some cards that we can play related to the different cults. To the left we can see our resources. We have plenty of food. The equal signs means that our storage is full, and we can also see at the bottom, the second from the bottom, that a little bit of excess food was sold and we got a little bit of money. Same situation with water, as we seem to be our city, which is in the middle here. It's called the Palater. It's a big town, the tier 3, with a population of 65,000 like civilians, and also 11.7 thousand workers. Their population, regular population of civilians, is extremely high. It's as high as can be, 100. The population of the workers is not as happy. We have 60 points, but the tendency seems to be rising a little bit, so we should be okay here. But we are currently barbaric because we just started and we have no technologies. If we look at our assets, we have only our high command bunker. We do have a national agricultural dome, which gives us a lot of food, and there's also the private one, a dome farm 3, which also gives us a little bit of food. The 114, the 900 goes to the civilians, but we also get, the civilians also get credits, with which, if we take a look in here, they have some income, private economy, some income and expenditure, and next they want to build an oil well community. So it seems that we have oil available somewhere, definitely in the vast city ruins that we have to the north of our town. We can see there's already a scavenging community in here, which is very handy because we actually get 68 metal, 25 fuel, and 17 rare earths, which we can see in here in the left panel, that we are getting as our share. And the transport hub is currently in the hands of civilians. We'll probably have to nationalize it later. We currently have $1,000. Maybe we can do it right away if we can sell our rare earth, for example. And the fuel is, the price is really low for the fuel. We don't have quite enough for the transport hub to nationalize it, so we'll have to rely for the private company that runs the transport hub for our logistics for now. And we also have a degraded LE liquid energy battery which provides us with 30 energy, and it looks like most of it is already consumed. Yeah, it shows that we are exactly even. We are even a little bit over, because the high command takes 10 energy, the agri-dome takes 21, so it's 31 in total, and this gives us 30, so we do not have any spare energy left. Next we'll take a quick look at our stratagems, our cards that we can play using these political points. And we also have a feint point, which is used to play a more powerful versions of these stratagems. We have different categories for major regimes, but we don't know any, so there are no targets. It's separate for minors. We already know of 2 minor regimes. Our relations with them are currently unclear, and we have like pretty much 0 recons we know about them. So we have 1 We see that there's a Totenus Imperium ruled by... this is actually... this is our guy from our Supreme Command Council. If we were to use the card, the difficulty is quite high, but not as high as in here. So later on we might remember to take a look at these Thotenus guys, if we can maybe do something with them. And we have some nation cards. We can recruit some juniors, some junior leaders, increase or decrease our income tax. We can discuss our policy regarding one of the cults, the Church of Syndic. Then if we want to get more fate points, we can play these red cards, but I probably don't want to do that ever, actually, because it would lower the morale of all of our troops. So, and for how long? Doesn't say, so it's just a one-off, probably, so their morale will raise with time, but I do not want to risk it. We have the Galactic Republic, 2 technologies available, but they require more fate points than we have available. So with time we will get more cards, which we will be able to play, but for now we can take a look around with our troops. We have, we can look our order of battle. We have a 1st Machine Gun Infantry Brigade, which consists of 5 battalions. Each of them has 800 Rangers and 200 Axi machine guns, and we also have a motorized division, which consists of Rangers in lorries. And we also have some militia from our capital zone. So let's move these troops around and see what we can discover. There's already this Fulda Imperium. Who are they a major? No, they are a minor. These are these guys. So we can push our borders. We can take some terrain from them. We can see that we have quite a lot of rivers and some lakes to our north. There is also a river to our south, which we're going to scout. Let's send a motorized... Let's use the road so they can travel a bit faster, and the infantry can go through the forests. So there actually are forests. There might not be... They are not thick forests with trees, but they are still forests which have some negative modifiers for motorized troops, for tanks, and for protector type soldiers. We can take the road south. And these, by the way, you can take a look at the assets, are some free folk settlements. And if they are inside our borders, then they can, with time, join the population of our town. So let's maybe push out more. But we have to be careful, as they might be guarded by some like some militia troops that are unaligned with any of the regimes. We can see there's probably quite a lot. There's 4 like battalions or divisions. No, I think it's battalions actually. Inside the city of Fulda itself. We might be able to just encircle it actually, which would probably be a good idea to do it as quickly as possible. We can, now that we've moved more troops, we have more recon on this hex here. We have 70 recon and 40 is minimum to see what units are there inside, and maximum is 400 to get full information. And we can see that they are some militia troops which have like 60 HP, 11 and 6 attack, and let's compare it to our troops which have 50 HP, a little less, 18 and 9 attacks, so quite comparable. And the machine guns are better in defense, which is the value on the right, but they have the exact same hit points. So what we should probably do is just move as much troops as possible, as quickly as we can, towards that. And we can also, these are the like headquarter battalions for our divisions, so let's move them closer to where their troops will be stationed. And this is our supreme headquarters, which commands the whole zone. And that might be it for the first turn. Let's see what kind of assets do we have. We have some free folk. We have now these 2 free folk villages in our borders, and we have discovered water in here and fuel in here, so that's probably where the private economy will want to build their like what they call fuel community or something, their oil well community. And this is our agri dome, which gives us food in here, so we might want to guard it well. And all of these tiles are ruins with different amount of scavenge. And it looks like they're some of around 20k and less. In here there's only 9. So this is 20, so we can see how much it would take us to build a recycle facility. It's 2 rounds of 50 metals, which is 100, which we do have, but it also would require 2 times 125 industrial points, which we do not have at the moment, as well as 2 times 1 machinery, which we cannot produce. We have to buy it. Later on there are technologies to produce it. We'll just buy as many as we can, since the prices might rise as we buy them. So let's buy 4, and I suppose we will wait for 1 turn before we start to build anything here. We will see if they try to break out to the neighboring hexes, or will they maybe consider our aggression an act of war. We have 5 decisions. Let's see, we get 200 political bonus points, and we have a very good find, 200 Galactic Republic grade machine gun troops, which Galactic grade is like the pre-war, pre-apocalypse technology, so they are the best that you can get pretty much. We quite appropriately get a recruit merc stratagem. Let's see what decisions we have to do. Dissatisfied element in Fold the Imperium. Yes, that's what I was expecting. Their Imperator seems to be a tyrant. We are in contact with a mysterious opposition leader calling himself Matador. Will we help them? And that would mean that we will have 12 rounds to invade them, and that's the Folda Imperium. If if we take a look at the strategic map, it's the ones that we have encircled, which means that we could, I suppose. And if we do, then he can organize a fifth column of rebels to raise up and help. Oh, it will cost us a little bit of money though, and it will change our profile a little bit. Our commander of the Supreme Headquarters would not like it, but our advisor would.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead. National budget, let's go 50-50 currently between the two councils that we have currently. And we have one Conan Kilwind that we can nominate as the new director for our economic council. He is a member of the Equality Party, which are all about democracy, which we don't really like to see, because our profile is and goes in a different way. He's got the improvisation skill, which is helpful with skill rolls where he doesn't have a mastery, so anything that he's not good at, this will help him with. But for this council, I believe the intelligence is the most important. And suitability rating 18. We can take a look if we were to recruit a junior, that they will probably have a much worse. It's not bad, but it seems that the capability is quite high. It goes up to 5 and this is 4, so almost as high as it gets on a 17-year-old very young person who already has some skills. Usually such young leaders have like 0 in everything, but it seems that this person would be better in leading some troops, as they have the demolitions and defensive works skills, which both have to do with entrenchment calculations. And if we look at the decision, we can indeed see that they have some suitability, but it's worse than Conan, so we'll disappoint him, as we don't have many people to choose from. At the beginning, we don't really need a lot of prospecting, I think. We will rely on the ruins and scavenging at first. We probably also don't need a lot of economic policies. We mostly want to discover and research new technologies.
Copy that.
Church of Syndic requests a donation, 283 credits and 1 political point. Actually, it seems like our leaders don't really like the Syndic Church, except this one guy, the new director of Economic Council that we just appointed. So he likes us very much because we gave him a very good job that pays him good money, so we can piss him off a little bit by not supporting the Church of Syndic. And that's it for the decisions for now. I saw that there was quite a lot of movement in the south. It is from the Thothans Imperium. Let's move our troops further. We got these 2 free folk villages, but we probably also want to address this movement in the south. Let's push our border further away, and you can see I have the logistics coloring here, and you can see this is more red into yellow into green, so we won't be able to push much further than this without building new roads. But that's okay for now. We have only just started and are establishing. So these guys, the GR Great MGs, as you can see, they have like 10 times as much attack and soft and hard attack as the other. Our basic troops, they also have just a little bit of attack versus low flying craft, and they require energy for upkeep and a little bit of food as well. They are foot infantry of elite quality, so they will hold their ground very well. We will try to encircle those guys as much as we can. We also have a lot of troops available in here still. Let's move them up. We can use the militia to do it. We can use these militia to cut off the road access to the east. Can push them a little bit forward. And that should be... Let's maybe move these guys so we have a little bit more forces in here. They'll probably join up. We'll continue on the road, but we have encountered some hidden free folk marauders which managed to kill some of our rangers. 500 of them actually, which is very bad, and they are across river, so they probably, and there's 3,700 of them, so they have a very big advantage over us, because as you might imagine, it's quite hard to attack across water, so we probably need already some replacement troops that will be sent out from our supreme headquarters, which is in our main town. And we can also start building our first scavenging facility. Let's find a hex which has around 20k mining recycling facility. It will also need some workers and it will produce these resources. We are getting low on oil, so that will help us with it. It's all our trucks moving around are using the fuel. Okay, let's go ahead. And that's probably it for the turn. We don't really have... We can offer protection to these guys. We should have our advisor, which we can just attach to anyone we want. He's got both Sixth Sense and Improvisation, which should help him with any kind of roles that he's not like proficient in. He's got a lot of trade, which is probably not very helpful. So only technical skills. We might just attach him to the Economic Council.
Aye, aye, sir.
So he will help with the research. So I guess we might as well risk it, try to execute the stratagem.
Yes, sir.
We rolled 124, so very high. We had a bonus of 32, so we rolled like high 90s. The difficulty was 94, so we were very lucky. And now we are the protector of the Totenus Imperium, so that probably means that they will not attack us in any way or form. We are at peace, but that also means that I think the border is now unmovable between us, so we can't push more into their territory. But on the other hand, they also can't push into ours. You can see this like pinkish dotted line are their borders. And we can see they have a farm, they have a transport hub, and they have a dome farm as well. So this is like open air farms. And they have a rather large free folk village. And I guess this is it for the introduction episode, and we will see how the situation with the folder Imperium will develop in the next episode.